Hi, my name is Madeline McDaniel, and today I would like to discuss with you the benefits of going to the gym in relation to mental health. Back in 2014, my brother Mason actually made the decision to end his own life. This was a situation that was unexpected to both me, my family, and the community members of Boone County. Mason was a Royal High School senior and actually had a full ride scholarship to go to the University of Louisville to be a cardiologist, studying cardiology, and then become a cardiologist. This was a situation that for me, being 9 years old, was very new, but it was a situation that I was learning information about rapidly. It was the first time in my entire life that I experienced that United States struggles very heavily with mental health. I faced mental health issues both firsthand and secondhand when I developed my own insecurities, anxiety, and depression going into my freshman year of high school. This was something that I was, again, still learning about, but then had to learn how to cope on my own. Today, I'd like to discuss how exercise has the ability to affect mental health of those who struggle with anxiety, depression, and PTSD. To begin, it is important to recognize the amount of individuals who are actually struggling with health issues in the United States. According to the CDC, June 28th of 2021, more than 50% of individuals in the United States are struggling with mental health, which is half of the United States. Mental illnesses are among the most common health conditions in the United States. More than 50% will be diagnosed with a mental illness or disorder at some point in their lifetime. That is 1 in 5 Americans that will experience mental illnesses in a given year. That statistic is quite startling, as the rapid culture is changing what's culturally acceptable and what is not. Back in 2020 and early 2020, I decided to start working out in my basement doing at-home workouts. This was right around the corner from COVID, and it was something that I was doing because I hated the way that I looked in the mirror. It wasn't something that I was doing because I enjoyed doing it or because I wanted to do it, but instead I was trying to compare myself to the individuals that were on social media. This is something that, as I kind of learned more about information about exercise, it was something that I was able to change my unrealistic goals for realistic ones and to do something because I enjoy it. Furthermore, it is important to recognize that science actually backs the idea that exercise will affect your mental health. Imagine the sense of accomplishment that you feel after you've just passed an A on your college essay, or you made the varsity team of a sport that you've been doing for your entire life. That sense of accomplishment actually has scientific reasoning behind it. Margaret Alick is a doctoral graduate in scientific writing and editing, and she says that there is actually a reason behind that feeling. Perhaps the most dramatic effect of exercise on the brain health is increased brain volume. Numerous studies have shown that the prefrontal cortex and the medial temporal cortex, areas of the brain control thinking and memory, are actually larger in those who exercise. I think that's quite interesting, if you ask me. When individuals exercise, their body releases the negative hormones, increasing the positive ones. For example, when you go sit at a beach, individuals that like being at the beach are then increasing their serotonin levels for short-term being there at the beach. Individuals who exercise long-term are constantly increasing those feelings of serotonin, making the lessened effects of mental health issues decrease. Another main point to acknowledge is that individuals globally are being bombarded with advertisements on what would be beneficial for them to lose weight. They're officially glamorizing the idea that if they lose weight and like what they see in the mirror, then their mental health will be completely 100% fixed. Unfortunately, this is not sustainable. It's not a sustainable goal. Although those supplements may help you lose weight short term, they will not help you lose weight long term. If your goal is to constantly lose weight, your mental health is actually being at a detrimental point. When I was working out and I didn't like the way that I looked and I was working out for that reason and that reason only, my mental health was becoming plummeting rather than rising up. Research claims that exercise is actually something that has been used for a very, very long time, and it is something that will continue to be used in the future. Short-term supplements aren't sustainable, but continually increasing your exercise and increasing those serotonin levels will help you. When you run on the treadmill, those exercises are being released from your body, the negative hormones, and increasing the positive ones. There's actually a story on BuzzFeed News. BuzzFeed News is actually a website in which individuals can share their different situations to different things. Megan's testimony is pretty special, and I'd really like to share it. Essentially, Megan, her husband, was being deployed off in the military, and she was struggling with the anxiety and PTSD from stories that she had heard and different things like that about whether or not her husband was going to make it home. She decided to depend on exercise as a way of increasing her serotonin levels, decreasing her stress levels, and increasing those positive hormones. This was something that she continued to do all throughout her husband's deployment, and he did make it home safely. There are 19 other stories that were shared on that BuzzFeed news site, which means that I know that this has helped globally. Numerous forms of exercise are available to try. It doesn't have to be weightlifting. It doesn't have to be walking on a treadmill or going in the same place at a same rate and a same speed for a certain time. This can be going on a hike with your friends, or taking your dog for a walk, or even just sitting out in the sun and doing some push-ups. It can really be anything. Exercise scientifically proves the physical and mental health of individuals, and it has backed my testimony, Megan's testimony, and testimony of those globally. Exercise has the ability to change lives globally, nationally, and internationally. I hope that you would choose to try exercise the next time that you are starting to feel down.